FileMakerTraining.tv. We're here to talk about the wonderful and amazing FileMaker platform. I'm here with Nick Hunter. Real quick, let's talk about the live stream training schedule. So today we're continuing the beginning of our series. So this is day 3 of FileMaker Go with Nick, which is a really awesome. Designing for Go is a unique creature. So with that all being said, I think we're probably good. Nick, what are we doing today?
Hello, Marge. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining today. So this is the third day 3 of the webinar about the design on the FileMaker Go for iPad and iPhone. Also, all what we say here in terms of techniques, design guidelines, principles, everything applies as well if you want to use a custom layout for mobile using WebDirect for Android. Okay, so everything is the same. Okay, so just you need to add on top the WebDirect's principle, but everything else, what I'm talking about here, is valid for this too. Okay, so yesterday we started working on a layout for iPhone, for iPhone, and we discover a little bit how it works, the size of the screen. So I'm going to go forward today, and we continue like this, and we try to finish this layout today. Okay, the main layout of the contacts FMSP layout, right? And we're going to continue. So far you saw that what we did yesterday was extremely simple, right? And you should keep that way, right? You should keep that way. You should keep it simple. You should keep it very, very straightforward. If you have a layout which is complicated to build, that means you're on the wrong track. You have to review. Most of the time, you have complex layout because you put too much, right? So that's what I want to talk about today is if you don't put too much in one layout, don't try to make the economy of building a layout. So here the difference between WebDirect and iPhone and iPad. On WebDirect, I was saying, don't go to another layout, right? Don't, try to stay in the same layout. Right? Or if you go smart, that means you open a new virtual window, right? And then you go and then you close the window that is on top, virtual on top. Oh, yeah. That was WebDirect. But on iPhone, especially iPhone, it's better to have 50 layouts than have one layout with craziness in it, right? So you need to put a few things in one layout. Don't put too much in one layout. It's heavy to load. It's cumbersome to use. It will get you a lot of headaches. A lot of headaches. You don't want that. So keep simple. Go to layout, script step. Don't try to be super smart in the way you go back. Because if you have to go that path on being complex in the navigation, right? That means also you're on the wrong track. So it's hard for me to tell you how to put yourself in the right track. The only thing I can tell you is if you separate everything in multiple layouts instead of having one big layout, right? One layout with slides, with tabs, with tab in the tab, and if you have this, you will have a lot of problems. You will run into problems, in terms of construction, navigation, utilization. It will be like a nightmare. So yesterday, we built this layout, which is a list view, right? Which is pretty much this part here of this first column. And when we click on one record, we go to the detail. And then if we want to go back to the list view, you go back to here, right? Simple navigation. But here, I want to fix something here because there's things we need to fix. The first thing we need to fix not in this one, sorry, in this one. The first thing we need to fix here is this, because this layout, this is what I need. This is what I need to display all what I need on the layout. But let's say you have a bigger iPhone. This is for a somewhat small iPhone. But let's say you have a 15 Pro, Super Max, Ultra, whatever, X Plus they have, right? So if you have a big layout, a big iPhone, this what will happen. You have a big iPhone, it will be like this. And we don't want this gray thing here because the layout stops here. The layout stops here. So I want the layout to go down, but I want the white to go until the bottom of the window, of the possible size of the phone. But I don't want this to move. I want this to stay like this. I want just blank space here. Okay. So that's the old trick that we have since 1984. So we do, I like to do that because it's easy to handle. So you put a square, a frame, right? A rectangle on the bottom, right? A white one. And then you put the anchor down. This. So we don't sit, it's there just to help do this. That looks better. So if you have a big iPhone, well, you have blank space here, but who cares? But I don't want that to move. I want that to follow like this. Okay. So that's the first thing we needed to fix. Second thing we need to fix here, and I want you to show you a technique that I'm using that looks very good, is the dates. This is unreadable on iPhone. It's unreadable on iPhone. We don't read that on iPhone. Show me a date like this on iPhone. You don't. So we want a date that looks like a date, right? Okay, so let's build a date that looks like a date. First, we need to make sure the field is a date field. It won't work. Follow up next and last. It won't work if it's not a date field. My technique won't work if you put a date in a text field, for example, because that's possible, right? It's not recommended because your sort will be like weird. But we need to have a date field here. So it's a date field. So what do I want to do here? So let's move this here. Let's move the whole thing here. So you take this, right? And you do that twice. You have 2 times the same fields. Okay. Then you put that centered. Then the first, you go to the format here, and you say you want a custom format. And in the custom formats, right, you say on the first, you say you want the day, right? You want the day, you say no, none, 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 and none. So here now, it shows only the date. The date shows only the date. Why? Because I ask in the format here to only show the date. And here, the second one, you also go to custom and you say, I want, right, the month I want a space, and I want the year. And then you said none, 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 and none. So now I have this. Okay. So this is to avoid to have to build a crazy calculation. Before, I was doing that using a field with a calculation, using custom style, in a calculation. It was a nightmare to manage. So I want this field to be like 22 or maybe smaller, 18, and this field to be 11. This to be like blue and this black, correct? So to avoid to go back and forth layout mode, browse mode, you go to show sample. So now it looks like, we are in layout mode, but we can see, correct? Okay. So let's format this, okay? First, I need a border. But I don't want the bottom, and I don't want the radius control here. Now I'm doing the same here. I don't want this, and I don't want the top. So now I have something like this. This is too small, a new 22 August. Now the 28 is too high. We need to low down. We use the padding for that, okay? And this we can low down a little bit here, increase like this. Looks better, correct? It looks like a date. 28 August 2024. Now this looks like a date, correct? Okay. So now that I have this construction, right, I can make it a little bit smaller. Let's say 20, and I will show you why. Is because now, if I do this, so let's see, yes, perfect, a little bit more. Actually, I can increase the size. I can put that up a little bit and go down a little bit, right? Right? And a little bit more. So I go this, and I do this, but I remove the pattern here. Okay, maybe like this. So now I have something like this. Yeah, it's a little bit too high. Okay, so now I want to say what this is, right? This is the last. So here we have a button for the photo apps. Okay, we have a button here. By the way, tooltip, totally unnecessary on iPhone and iPad. Tooltip won't do squat. We'll do squat because there's no way we can hover with the mouse. So you can remove them because they won't work. So I want the last. So this is the last. So I put last here. I put centered. I put light gray, and I put 10. And this I put here. So it's a little bit too, put that on front. So see, it's a little bit too close, right? And I can do this. like this. Let's see. Okay. So this looks better. Not perfect, but it looks better. So we have a date now. And this is the last. We don't need to put more. It's the last. This, it's a popover. And I don't want this popover to say next follow-up, you know. I want this to say set follow-up. We need to, you know, I know it was for setting the follow-up, but you know, let's say, or edit follow-up, something like this, but not next. Edit follow-up like this, right? And then we have the dates. The last, I duplicate this. So that's why it's nice, this technique nice, because now I have next, right? And you can change the color of the day red because it's the next. The last is blue, but the next is red because it's importance. So you change the field here and it's formatted. So now if you have an object built like this, you don't need to build another one. You duplicate, you change the field, and it's following the formats. So now here I have an edit follow-up stuff. So I don't really need to have last and next. I know that belongs to each other, right? I know that it belongs to each other, right? So I don't need to say last follow-up, next follow-up. I know this is last and next. So now this looks good, right? So it looks like a date on an iPhone, an iPad. You won't be surprised to see that. Why? Is because it's readable much more than the dates, like with digits, right? Correct? So is working much better like this, right? So do we have any questions so far?
With the new Apple Pencil hovering feature, will a tooltip work?
Yes, I forgot about this. Yes, it will.
Yeah, I also
So
forgot that was a thing.
yeah, I've never used this. Steve Jobs should be, you know, dying a second time in his grave. They made that horrifying stuff, but it's okay. There now you say, yeah, that's cool, that's super cool, but I want to edit that field. Let's say I want to tap on it and edit. How I edit? Well, you say like this, right? And you say, you put a small, you know, or you can even leave like this. But on the left, on the padding, you put 300 on the left, right? So, and you say, for example, this is a drop type calendar, for example, right? You put that on top of this. Boom, 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 boom. You put that on top. That brace to all. Let's make it France. Okay, that brace all, and we make it like this. Okay. So now these fields, it's an editable fields on top. You show nothing, but when you click on it, oh, I need to activate it. Doesn't show anything. When you click, oh yeah, sorry, it's not on the left, it's on the top. We need to put this on the top to avoid the, why is, I don't remember. I don't remember how we do this. Maybe it's too much. It's on the left. maybe 100 or something like this. Normally, I don't remember how I do this. I don't remember how to do this. I need to check. I don't remember. I will. This is not enough. I need to check. I don't remember where on the right, maybe to avoid this. I don't remember. I forgot. Sorry for that.
That happens.
Is that I build these objects once and yeah, it shouldn't do that. I don't remember. Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah. It's 200 here. This is 1 and white. Boom. Okay. So yeah, so you put it's a trick. So I'll tell you the trick. You put 200 on the left, right? You put the we cannot put 0 here, it's 1, and you put white to make sure you won't see anything, right? But now you have this. So it's an editable field, and you still have the press state, the in focus. The in focus, you have it, right? So you can just duplicate this, say this is next, right? So when you have an object built, that's why what I'm doing is always a copy and a paste and and that's it. I don't build the object. That's why I never build that object. I have 3 or 4 different type, right? Smaller, bigger. Sometimes I put instead when I don't need here we can do a trick also, right? I'll show you if you want. You can, if you want to remove this. I mean, if you don't have the label, right? And you want the top like this, right? You want the top like this, so you can copy paste this, right? So you want the top to show the day like this, right? So you can do something like this. Wednesday, 28th August of 2024. That cool.
That's very cool.
Right? So without any calc, correct? Just using the format, the layout format of the field. That's why I'm saying, I said at the beginning, we want this to be a date field, because otherwise I don't have access to this formatting. It will be gray if it's a text field. So you can use the same trick for time, right? You can use the same trick for many, many things. Okay. So that's cool, right? So I can keep that on the side, and I can, so, and put that on the same level of this, right? So it's very nice. It looks good, and it works very, very well, right? So now I have a nice looking widget here. We call that's how we call that, a widget. Okay. So we have a nice widget here that looks like much more iPhone than, look, right? It looks great. We fix the problem here, right? Okay. So now we have this here, and I want, if I don't have a phone number here, okay, if I don't have a phone one, what this button should do? Well, I need a deactivating version of the button. So you say, okay, no phone, right? And this button here, okay, needs to be deactivated. So how to make that to look like deactivated? Okay, so no border, no background. We put a border like the E9, right? And we put the same color on the text, right? That's enough. So we say this disappear is empty phone 1, right? And this disappear not is empty phone 1. This has no scripts, just the button. Well, and since it's the less important of both, put on the back, right? So if I go there, I have no phone, it said no phone, right? So let's do the same for the email, right? So I build one, I can just duplicate and say no email. And this will be is empty email, right? And this will say not is empty email. And we put on the top, back. Boom. No phone, no email. Okay. Here I have this. And here I have this. Correct? So I have 2 buttons here to send to call and send an email. So we fix this, right? It's not super perfect, but it's good enough for now. Okay. So we need to take care of the edit, right? Because the edit, we have this, and this is not good. Okay. So we go there, right? And we need to fix this. So let's fix this. Let's fix the mess. Okay. So I move this like this, and I will take care of the, oh, I hate when it's doing it. Okay, here. And I remove this. So I have a white background, right? And I want to edit my stuff. Okay. So I want the name and the last name. So yesterday I told you no way this can happen. So this is how it should be, right? Like this. Okay. The best way should be like no changing of size. Keep the size, okay? The size normal. Don't try to make this another size, okay? Let's keep the size like this, the normal size, which is 13, which is enough, okay? Between those, I need a bar between those two. I can remove the tooltip because there's no, I don't know if there's stylus on the iPhone, but right. So, okay, so now I have this. Of course, I want this to stretch completely border to border, right? So let's see. Okay, so it looks better, even though I need to put more space between those two. Okay, I have a trick to help you here, okay, if you want. So I put more padding here on both, right? So then I can glue, I glue it here, right? It's glued, the guide says now it's on the border, and I add 1 pixel. So I glue it and I put 1 pixel down, okay? Okay. So, but I'm going to show you. Okay, so I'm going to align all of these things. Okay, so we need to align a lot of fields. We're going to align a lot of fields. So we will take care of this later. Okay. So I keep going, right? So the contact ID is something we don't change, right? Is something we don't change, but that's something we can put here, right? The contact ID, you know. So we can put that somewhere here. We will take care of that later. So IDs we took care of it because we don't edit this. This is automatic, right? Then we have the title. So we have two. Why we have this? Oh, the find mode. Okay, we don't care. Find mode is find mode is different on iPhone. You know, we cannot use the find mode like, you know. Okay, I'll show you another find mode. So I'm going to put all the thing here. So all this assigned company and stuff like that we take care of later. So I'm going to put the company here. Okay. For now, I'm going to remove this find mode stuff. We have the customer, so we have the same thing here. Okay. Then we have the active, but this is for the find mode. So let's this is what we have. This is the, you know, this. But this, I don't want to put that here. Something like this, we put that always on the top first. Okay. And we can put the size a little bit bigger, like 13. Okay. So we have this. Remove the find mode stuff. We don't need to put that this is status. You know, it talks to its, you know, it talks itself, you know. We don't need that. Then we have this, right? The active, all of this. And we have this. Okay, so this is what, you know, I want to talk about. Okay, the make primary contact. When you have a checkboxes, I want you right now to go to your phone, find an app where you have checkboxes. Right? It's a challenge for today.
Yes.
There's known. Checkboxes, read your button. This is 1984 things. Really. Right. Unfortunately, FileMaker didn't help us. You know, we don't have sliders, we don't have, you know, toggles, we have nothing. Okay, so we need to make our own. Okay, so let's make our own. Make it primary. Okay. Well, it's very simple. Right? It's a button. Right? It's a button. At the bottom is an action button. Okay. So there's many ways we can do that, but you know, this is my favorite. So it's a make at, you know, and now we have something that help us that we didn't have before, the calc, the layout calc. So another application of the layout calc. And what the layout calc says. Okay. What the layout calc says. Oops. It says if flag primary, that means if there's one there, if it's, because this is 1, 0, okay? If it's flag primary, right, then Actually, I have a better way, but or maybe I'm showing you the best way because this is a Boolean. It says 1 or 0, 1 or empty, which is 0. Okay. So instead of doing the if, we use choose. So what do who doesn't know about choose in the audience?
Toggle button, someone said. David is typing.
The choose.
Like case, but it starts with 0.
Yes. So it's a super case. I mean, it's a simpler case. Okay. You use that case, but it can be used as a case, but you need to have a field that return 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. So for example, let's go to the data viewer. I said choose. The test is 1, for example. I put no test for now. And I said, if the test is 0, I want 0. If the test is 1, I want 1. If the test is 2, I want 2. And if the test is 3, I want 3. Okay. So if the test returns 0, it says 0, 1, 2, and 3. So if the number here is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 until, then you have this. You have you can choose this. Okay. For this case scenario, it's perfect. Because if it's empty, it will say 0. It doesn't have to be 0. Even if it's empty, it says 0. So the field will be empty or 1 or empty. So if the field is empty, okay, I want to say make primary. Okay. Or more modern, set as primary. Right? Otherwise, you say primary. If it's 1, remove those. So this is what it will say. If it's 1, it will say primary. If it's 0 or empty, set as primary. So I have here my calc ready here. Okay, I need to do it again. My calc ready. But here, I'm using the field flag primary. Okay. So let's see how it works. If I unclick this, it said set as primary. If I click this, it said primary. So now I have a smart button. Correct? So I copy the calc, right? And I paste it directly here. Oh, no, sorry. I need to copy that calc, not copy the edit, not copy this. I need to copy the text because I have this and this. Okay, so I copy this and I paste this in the button. So now the button itself will say primary, set as primary, primary, set as primary. So now you know where I'm going. Who knows where I'm going? So set fields. So we just need a set field and we say set fields, the flag, and we say if flag That means if there's something, if it's 1, I want to blank. Otherwise 1. So doing this, because we don't need to say if flag is primary equal what, we don't need that, because this is a Boolean. This will say, because we have 1 or 0, so we have a Boolean number here. So this will be understood as a Boolean as is. So FileMaker will say if yes, valid something, if 1, yes, okay, good, blank it. Otherwise, if not valid, put 1. Very simple calc, right? So I have my toggle. Set primary, set primary. Okay, so now, not done yet. Okay. I want to make something here. Okay. So I use a conditional formatting, and I said add formula, and I said flag primary. That's it. That means if there's something here, if it's valid, I don't need to say flag primary equal 1. I don't need that. I don't need. It's okay. It will do that. If it's 1, I want the fill to be green. If it's 1. Right? Now, let's do something better, right? If I want, right, to be very to do the thing well, okay? So I put in that button, I put an icon here, and this icon will be a checkbox, a check mark. Correct? So now I have this. But I don't want the set as primary to be checked. I want only the primary to be checked, not checked. Well, I come here and I go to icon and I say, by default, I want an icon transparent. So now I have this, right? But I need to go to the conditional formatting and say, yes, but if this is valid, I want green and I want the icon to be white. Now, last fix, and we're done. Okay. Let's edit that calc. Okay. So when the calc is in the button like this, it's not very easy, but I want this, and I can add a tab like this, or maybe like this, right? Add some space before, and now it will look like this. It's centered. Maybe I can add an extra space here. Okay, so we have so when you have object like this, right? So if you want, we can remove this overstate because we don't need that. So normal, 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 and normal. We don't need that. Primary, set as primary. So I have a toggle button, no scripts, no tricks, no hidden, no boom. So I have this here, right? But this option, right? I don't want that to be in the edits. I copy this and I'm going to put that in the main layouts because it's okay. It's not disruptive, you know, right? So, and we will arrange this later. Okay. So let's continue. So far, so good. Okay. So we took care of many things here. Now let's care about this communication and addresses. Okay. So this separation, right? Because we have two separation here, and we have the communication address. So when you are editing, you're not calling, right? You're editing. So you cannot call, you know. So I'm going to copy those things here, right? I'm going to put them here, right? So, oh, I have this EA, okay. So, but I can, you know, let's remove all of this, right? And I want to keep that style, right? So I want to be 5. I can put 7, 7, 7, 7, right? So I want to apply that style. So I'm going to add this style, you know, and this is a normal or you know, thick or normal 2, you know. So now I have a style here. So I can use a style and apply on all the fields, right? So I'm selecting all the fields. So here, 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 here. And I apply, oh, because this, and I might have another one here. Oh, yeah. This is normal 2, right? And here, I copy that style, put that here, and copy that style, copy that, paste that here. So this, for example, I want those to be automatically resized like this. So I select one, I select all of them, and then I move this. Boom. They are automatically reshaped. So this is phone 1, this is fax, this is email, this is websites. Okay. And this, I'm doing this. I'm doing this. Correct? So now I want to rearrange all of this, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to spend all my life doing this, rearranging this, okay? So I position like this, like this, like this, like this. A little bit like this way. And then I position that to make sure they are the bars, those, they are in between the title and this, I make sure they are in between all those. And then I can duplicate, and make sure that those are between those. Between, okay. I can duplicate more, and I can duplicate more, and I can duplicate more. So now I have this, but I want to reorganize all of this. Okay. Can remove the tooltip. Okay. I select all. I said everything's aligned to the left. Everything with the largest width, and everything distributed vertically. Boom. Right? So it's not perfect, but at least it's aligned. So I redo. So let's redo. You like this, right? Or even you like this. So you select all. You don't try to be smart. You align everything on the left. You resize everything on the largest width. You do that too. You make everything to be, to stretch, right? And you automatically space distribute vertically, right? So now remember, I want this to be aligned with this. This is not a line, right? Well, so you do this. You select this. Don't try to be smart. And you put the same padding here than the fields. So they're all aligned on the same left, but they have the same padding, so they're all aligned here like this. So we took care of this. Now, this is okay, this is okay. So sometimes you can have 1 pixel more like this, is because the automatic distribution, sometime, it has to, when you have an odd number of pixels and you need an odd number of fields, and you need to, divide so you might have one that goes, a little bit more, stuff like this one is more, right? But it's okay. You can fix that later, like I did. But now we have another thing to fix. This is too high. So you select those, right? And you load down like 1, 2 to be closer to the fields. So let's see how it looks now. Boom. Perfect. Of course, those need to be editable. And you're good to go. Right? So you have enough space here because you're on the phone. When you edit a field on the phone, you can do this. You can do this. It will be totally, completely unreadable. You're on the phone. You need space. And in my opinion, I didn't put enough space here. I should have put like 9, but it's okay. We're not seeking the perfection here. Now, before we go to the question, if we have some, I want to explain how to do this now, the address, because we have primary and we have secondary, right? Well, when we deal with this, right? So now I have this, I can separate this, right? And put a title here. Oops. Don't want to be a communication. So this will be black and bold with the same trick, right? Of 7. Then everything is aligned on the left at the same, and then is all aligned like this. The text will be all aligned like this. So this is the communication, correct? So this bar goes away because it's the last. Then I can put that a little bit up. And this is the last of this communication stuff. And then here we start with the addresses. So this is a primary address, right? So here we have the primary address. So can go away this. So we do the same trick. right? And we keep going. So, well, let's remove this for now. States, postcode, like this, okay? So now I have a trick for you, something cool that will help you make the thing perfect. That's what we seek. I want this to have the same spacing on this. I want the same spacing between. I have no idea how, I cannot replicate this. I don't want to calculate. I don't want. So I position all my stuff here, right? Let's remove those for now. Okay. Do I have a bar here? No, no line. I look here. Okay. So I'm going to first make the style on this to be the normal 2. Make sure that this is like this, right? And then don't try to be smart neither. Department, you put that on in front of this. The first accounts, you put a line like this. Then you don't care of this, right? You don't really care, right? So here is missing 1, but it's not a problem. I will show you. It's missing 2, by the way. But I'm going to show you. Right. So I have an example. So here is okay. So I'm centering this one and this one, and I duplicate this, and this, and I put that here. Right. So now I select all of this. I align on the left, resize full, and I distribute vertically. Right. So now I need to align those 2. Yeah, but they are thicker. See, they are thicker. This was 15, so I need to make sure those are 15, right? And I redo it. Okay. So now this and this perfectly aligned. This and this perfectly aligned. Just I need to make sure that those 2 are aligned. But it's okay. I know I did this. So now I know this will be aligned with this. This will be aligned. So everything is aligned. So I can take this and put it here. I know that visually those, so when it's doing this, the extra pixel, you can fix it manually, but I know that visually those they have the same spacing, all of them. So now, as I said, 1, 2 is missing. Well, it's okay. We can do 2 manually, right? So I put that here. That was 15. That was 15. Okay. So I can do that manually. So this, because normally this will help me. So I'm okay with this, right? So this is a little bit more. So I need this like this like this, right? And but if 2 is missing, I can do that also. Do it again, the same trick, but it's simpler because I can just do it because I have only 2. So I'm doing this, and then this one helped me with the guide, right? So now align like this, and I know those are aligned the same. So just I need to align this one, but this will normally, no, this will help me a little bit more like this, right? So now we okay, right? So they are aligned, they're all the same width and stuff like this. So before we go to the question, I continue, right? So you have the primary address, right? And then now don't try to be smart. This will cost much less time than redo an alignment again. So you do secondary address, right? So, and where's the address here? So let's remove the show sample. So secondary, 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 okay? So here, oh, I suck the departments. So the department belongs to this. That's okay. As I said, we don't seek the perfect perfection, but I want to show you the best example, right? And then you can do it, you can redo it, 7. Oh, I forgot to do this, by the way. It's okay. So I don't need department again, right? And this can go away, the last one, okay? So I need to do this, 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 and make it 7 here. Okay, aligned. And this is secondary address street 1. This is secondary street 2. This is secondary city. And this is secondary province like this. This is secondary postal code and the secondary country. So now, what did I do here? We are on the phone, right? Oh, I need to make sure that this is all, and make sure this is like this, okay? Okay, so you scroll, right? You scroll, secondary address, primary address, communication, no whatever accordion or tab or all this stuff here. This doesn't work on an iPhone. Okay, remove that. This, so you scroll, right? You edit and you scroll, right? So now here I have the layout. I edit, I scroll up and down, detail. Now I have something clean, detail list. See? So, do we have any question?
Yes. If the name of a field reference in a layout calculation is renamed, will it update the layout calculation?
No,
Oh, okay.
it's broken.
I'm about to say, isn't that like a FileMaker like standard that when you change the name, it changes it everywhere?
Yeah, but they didn't do that on the calculation, which I understand why. So if you change, so let's do a test, okay? So let's say, let's go there. Let's say I have a calc here, a calculation that refer to, oh, I need to be a calculation. So if he refers to a field, right? Let's say account name, okay? So the field here works. I go there and I rename the account name. Boom. So you need to go there and fix it because it's a text. It's a piece of text. So, but you can fix it like this, for example, this will work. Fixed. So if you go back again and you rename it, broken. So that give me the opportunity to tell you something. Okay. When a field is in production, that means when you build something, you building, you can rename whatever you want. You're building. It's not done yet, So for example, until the painting is done in the house, I can do whatever I want. I can mess up the walls. I can I can make a mark on the wall. I can even, or write something on the wall, on the drywall. Sometimes people, construction worker, they do that. They write thing on the walls. The painting is not done. I can do whatever I want. When the painting is done, like this is the painting. Boom. You cannot do anything. You can't rename something. I know we have this freedom on FileMaker that we can do it, right? I know we get this, but when you are at that level of usage, right, you're above average, and you cannot rename a field. Neither you can delete a field. I typically don't delete field. I typically don't delete. I mean, unless I really know I can delete it, or I'm in the process of building something. That's why I'm cleaning up the mess every time when I'm doing something. When I finish a part of a code, I don't leave an unnecessary script or unnecessary layout or unnecessary field. I clean up the mess when it's done, right? Don't leave trash behind you. And then for the renaming, until you're building, you can keep it. But when the field is in production, keep it. Or face some rework, potential. But the dialogue, the calc layout calc, no, you can't. So next week, but I think I explained everything here for this layout, right?
Yeah.
And this one too. So we have the primary, so we can set the primary button somewhere, but I'm going to arrange that for you because I need to take care of this, and we can put this set as primary, but is way too big for me. This is way too prominent. We can change the fonts to be, we have 13, it's okay. So we can put that here, for example, and okay. Yeah, a little bit too small. But what's the name? Yeah. So next week, we're going to do some set primary. So you can click here, see, select this. So this will work very well on WebDirect. And next week, we're going to talk more about iPhone and stuff like this. So we're going to work with the iPhone and show on the how this behave on the iPhone, a real iPhone, right? So we're going to see that. But before I want to build this here to show you at least one example of one of those and one of those. But we have time. We have 3 weeks, so.
Yep, we have time. Thank you everybody for coming today. Thank you, Nick, for doing this.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I will let you all go, and I will see you, Nick, not Monday, Tuesday.
Tuesday. Bye.
No.